Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, the message today is passion over programming. I really like that message because fuck all that programming, you know. I've listened to these amazing ladies over the years, and one of the themes that really I've been wanting to embrace and share, with others is the idea that our bodies are a human tech, that we are a more sophisticated technology than we understand, and this technology is here for us to play with, our consciousness, the consciousness of who and what we really are, to create in this dimensional reality. And this human tech comes equipped with a highly sophisticated computer. Unfortunately, these computers have been hacked and we've been programmed, and we believe that we have to obey the programs, but really it's just a fucking hack. And these computers are meant to serve our individualized human tech. And so it's really important to take it back, take yourself back, and then establish your own new patterns. And so passion over programming. It's personified in a couple of different ways. We start with the Knight of Wands, and she's looking over at this Five of Swords reversed. And so, the Five of Swords is usually my gaslighting card. But again, when we're choosing passion over programming, it just really feels like, and especially when swords cards are reversed, it feels like it is an internalized thought process, thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and it really feels like overriding that with what are you passionate about. Our passion brings us centered in what we are engaged with now. We're not worrying about what happened yesterday or what we're gonna do tomorrow or feeling guilty about 5 years ago. We're very present with what we're passionate about now. And so it really feels like get passionate, engage that fire energy, get out of your head, get into your heart, get out of your head, get into your body. So then it's personified in a grander way. I kind of want to break the cards into these three and these two, but they all kind of lead together. So with this King of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed, again, that Swords energy reversed, it's like that program thinking. It's always running and running and running, and he is running, but he's like he's upside down, man. And when the King of Pentacles reversed, it just says to me it's about very shallow shallow success, shallow belief systems, shallow ego. It's not about look at the generosity of my spirit, look at the virtues and the things I truly value in life, like love and friendship and kindness. It's look at the kind of car I drive and look at the size of my bank account. And it's fine to have a big bank account. It's important to drive a car that you like, but when we define ourselves as these things, again, so much of this has been dictated to us about what success is defined as what we're supposed to aspire towards in life. And little of it is asking us, who are you? What feels like purpose to you? What feels aligned to your authentic expression? What is your sovereign path in life? This is a cage right here, but the way to get out of it, again, getting out of that programming and choosing your passion, we've got the Magician, the Ten of Wands reversed, and the Star card upright. These are two major arcanas. We've got 5 major arcanas in the reading. So it does show that we're at like a collective, on an individual basis, but we're at a collective destiny point now. Destiny meaning choice. We have so many choices in life right now, and sometimes we don't recognize that we're making a choice, let alone recognize that we can make a choice. And so often we're doing what's expected of us, what our obligations are. And yes, when you commit to something, it's important to, discipline yourself to arrive, at your commitments, but it's also important to make sure you're only committing to those things that you truly choose to commit to. And, I always want to kind of joke about, now, of course, if you have kids, you've made a strong commitment, and your choices are kind of made for you. But even then, I was saying to somebody today, even then, though, there are some parents who choose we're going to be vegetarian, and there's some parents who choose we're going to eat milkshakes for every dinner, eat milkshakes, whatever, have milkshakes. And so you always have a choice. You're always making choices. And the reason I'm really calling attention to that is not only the Magician and the Star card, but this Ten of Wands reversed in the middle. Tens, indicate the completion of a cycle. You can lay these burdens down. But with this being reversed, it's a warning that without recognition of the choices you're making and the choices you have that you can make, you might get looped right back into something, the cycle that you just completed. You don't have to go through this again. You can, if you want to, you can choose that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just know that you don't have to. And with this Magician on one side and the Star on the other side, it kind of feels like it's saying, you can lay down these burdens. Again, we get programmed into these belief systems, and we carry burdens that really are not what we would choose. And there's so much more I want to say, but I kind of want to just, allow the cycles to end, allow yourself to lay down these burdens that don't really belong to you, and go into this. And I love how, tens indicate the completion of a cycle, 1 + 0 = 1. And then we've got the Magician card, which is number 1. There's so much energy of initiating something new based on your passion, based on your dreams, based on your transparency. The Star card is so much a card of transparency. Normally it shows a naked woman, and nakedness represents that transparency. I've got nothing to hide. And when you're combining your will with your truth, with the light of your consciousness, with who you are in a transparent way, what you aspire to, what fulfills you, what feels like your purpose. And there's a lot about self-reflection in the Star card. There's so much healing comes through that self-reflection and looking deeper, looking beneath the surface, and being willing to not only look there, but be willing to go through the process of healing that. And I love that here with this energy, you heal so much by enacting your will, deciding what it is that you truly desire, what it is that you truly want to manifest, experience, live, be, do, and have in your life, and knowing that you can manifest it. And again, that saying comes to mind, you can have anything, but you can't have everything. So be very clear about what it is that you want, and then go for it. Then we've got, it's kind of the challenge because of the way they fell out on their side. We've got the Six of Pentacles and the World card. I almost said the Wheel of Fortune, I don't know why. Got tens on the mind. But this is talking about completing cycles. This is the last card of the Major Arcana. And so you absolutely are completing major cycles. And as I often like to say, where a 10 would indicate that you've completed a chapter, the World card says that you've completed the book, or you've completed the series, or get out of that library and go find new experiences, new information, new knowledge. And with the Six of Pentacles, I almost feel like maybe there's a trust issue about completing old cycles. So sometimes we don't recognize we have a choice because we allow the structures of society to dictate so much to us. Like, well, I can't quit my job. I have all these bills to pay. And of course, if you've taken on a lot of bills, you want to make sure you're paying the bills. You don't have to make drastic changes. You can make incremental changes. Although sometimes the drastic changes really do just put you right in alignment with that new timeline. And often enough, when you take these leaps of faith, when you allow your passion to guide you and override that programming, a lot of times the solutions will show up as a byproduct product of choosing the higher timeline that is more aligned with your authentic truth. And so it feels like there's a trust of like, how will I be provided for? And so it is a challenge, but it feels like lay down the burdens. First, let go of the burdens, let go of it, and allow the passion to dictate more about the direction instead of the fear of what the program tells you. And trust that you can close out old cycles and that you will be provided for. And then we end with the Lover's card and the Hermit card reversed. So it really feels, again, choosing passion. It doesn't have to mean a lover or sex, although it can if that's what your passion guides you towards. It does really feel like coming out of hermit mode though. So wherever, I want to keep this in a more general sense, where it's like if you've been isolating really, you know, and I love because traditionally the Hermit card shows an old man with a lantern, and it's often said that the light in the lantern of the Hermit is the star. And so it is the light of your consciousness. It is your healed self. It is your truth, your purpose, really speaking to you, your own brilliance, illuminating who you truly are. And so it's like you've contemplated it alone. You've been in isolation long enough. So now it's like taking this illuminated light and bringing it down into this like this healing pool of, you know, rebirth and wisdom, and turning it around and then really embracing your passion, embracing your passion, pulling it towards you, and moving in the direction of fulfillment. So that's all I have for today. Once again, my name is Fairlight. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love. Until next time.